Welcome to a wisdom tale. Today's story is called Aleodor the Emperor. It's a Romanian folklore tale written by Petre Ispirescu, 1875. The story revolves around a young emperor named Aleodor, who was advised by his father never to set foot on the Forbidden Mountain, which was the land of the half-man creature. Still, the young emperor embarks on a quest to find the Green Emperor's daughter, a quest filled with numerous trials, danger, and the unknown. This story emphasizes the importance of personal transformation. The hero undergoes significant growth throughout the journey. He starts as a young emperor and matures into a wise and courageous leader through his trials and experiences. This wisdom tale reinforces the moral lessons of growth and transformation, facing the unknown and the triumph of good over evil. It is a story about how life reveals its divine order through challenges and tribulations. Let's begin the story. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was an emperor. Despite his wisdom and the love of his people, he longed for an heir to carry on his legacy. Year after year, he prayed to the heavens, but in vain. When, in his old age, his prayers were finally answered and he was blessed with a dear child, one you would never forget, the emperor's joy knew no bounds. The emperor named his son Aleodor, a name that meant noble gift, and from that day forward, the fate of the empire was forever changed. When the boy was about to be baptized, the emperor gathered all emperors from all directions, from east to west, from north to south, to celebrate together. For 3 days and nights they feasted, rejoicing and remembering it for as long as they lived. The boy grew up and became very clever and skillful. His wisdom and bravery earned him the admiration and respect of all who knew him. As the years passed, the emperor grew old, but his heart was filled with love and joy for his son, Aleodor. However, the time came when the emperor felt the weight of his age and knew his days were numbered. At the hour of his death, the emperor said to his son, "My dear boy, my dear Aleodor, behold, God is calling me. I am at the moment of my final end. I know that you will become a great man and a mighty emperor, and even dead, my bones will rejoice in the grave at your great achievements. I have nothing to tell you about guiding our people, for I know you will do well." The emperor's voice was soft but firm, filled with the depth of his final words. "There is one thing I must tell you, a warning that you must heed. Do you see that large mountain over there? That's the Forbidden Mountain. Do not let your sins lead you to hunt there, for it is a place of danger and darkness. That mountain is the land of half a man riding half a lame rabbit. If you cross his territory, it will bring you great harm. Promise me, my son, that you will heed this warning." Having said his last words, the emperor gasped 3 times and his spirit flew away. He left this world as every other human soul does, as if he had never existed. The kingdom mourned him. The boyars, servants, and soldiers, everyone loved the emperor, but they found solace in the knowledge that Aleodor would continue to lead them with the same wisdom. Aleodor, after ascending to his father's throne, though still a young man, set the land in order like a wise man. The people were pleased with his reign, and thanked God that he had given them peace. Aleodor often went hunting to spend the hours he spared from kingdom affairs. One day, however, I don't know how it happened, he lost his footing and slipped. He had not taken 10 or 20 steps before he was there, on the forbidden land, on the land the earth creature. He suddenly realized that he had crossed into the dark territory, the forbidden mountain his father had warned him about. He knew he had ventured too far. Now, it was not his fault, but still, Aleodor had broken a solemn vow. The weight of disappointment pressed heavily on his shoulders. As he turned his horse to leave, a grotesque figure appeared before him. It was a half-man riding the half of a lame rabbit. It was a sight to behold. The creature said to Aleodor, "The boundaries of my land are clearly marked for all to see. All the wicked who trespass on my land will fall into my slavery. First of all, you must know," replied Aleodor, "that out of carelessness and without my will, I have trespassed on your territory, but I hold no evil thoughts toward you. I thought otherwise of an emperor such as yourself, but I see that you ask for mercy like all the others before you." "God forbid," replied Aleodor. I have told you my truth, and if you want to fight, choose. Let us fight with swords, let us strike each other with maces, or let us fight in close combat. Neither, but to escape my punishment. There is only one way. Bring me the Green Emperor's daughter as my bride, and all will be forgiven. The Green Emperor's daughter was known as the most beautiful and virtuous maiden in all the land, and she was not to be trifled with. Aleodor wanted to escape the situation. His kingdom's affairs did not allow such a long journey, and he had no guide to reach such a distant land. But perhaps there is meaning in all this. Perhaps this unknown journey holds a deeper meaning for him? What Aleodor had in mind was to bring back the Green Emperor's daughter, escape the wretchedness of Earth's creatures, and keep his soul pure. But he still felt sinful for breaking his promise to his father. He also knew he should not have promised anything to this grotesque creature. But at the same time, he was determined to fulfill this great task and protect his kingdom. The half-man knew that Aleodor would keep his word, like the honorable man he was. And before vanishing into the shadows of the forest, he said to Aleodor, "Take care, brave emperor, and may God grant you success." Aleodor left. As he walked, he thought only of how to fulfill his task. Each step was a thoughtful deliberation. He rode beside a water stream. A flash of silver caught his eye near the water's edge. As soon as he saw it, he went to check it. It was a fish trapped in a shallow pool, gasping for air. The fish, a pike, was struggling to reach deeper water. The fish said to Aleodor, "Do not harm me, kind man. Rather, let me go into the water." Aleodor, with great care, scooped up the fish and placed it back into the deeper part of the stream. Then the pike said to him, "Thank you, kind man. Hold this scale of me, and when you think of me, I will be there with you and help you." Aleodor took the small scale and went ahead. He was amazed by such an event. Further along his journey, Aleodor heard a faint croaking. Looking around, he saw a raven tangled in a hunter's net, struggling to free itself. The bird said to him, "Noble man, do not harm me, but rather bind my broken wing. This act of mercy will serve you well." Aleodor, without hesitation, dismounted and carefully untangled the raven from the net. When he was about to leave, the raven said to him, "Thank you, noble man. Hold this feather of mine, and when you think of me, I will be there with you and help you." Aleodor smiled, took the feather, and continued his journey, grateful for the opportunity to help another animal in need. But he had not gone 100 steps when he stumbled upon an insect, a horsefly. Aleodor was almost about to crush it with his foot. The horsefly said, "Spare my life, kind-hearted man, and I will save you from death. Hold this piece of my wing, and when you think of me, I will be there with you and help you." Hearing this, Aleodor suddenly lifted his foot and let the horsefly go. He took that small wing and continued his journey. Walking forward, on a journey of unknown distance, he walked until he finally reached the court of the Green Emperor. When he arrived, he stood at the gate and waited in case someone asked him what he was doing. He waited a day, waited two, then so that someone would come and ask him what he wanted. On the third day, the Green Emperor called his servants and said furiously, "How is it possible that this man has been standing at my gate for 3 days, and no one has come to ask him why? Is this why I pay your wages?" The servants ran from corner to corner, not knowing what to do or how to respond. Finally, he summoned Aleodor and brought him before the emperor. "What do you want, young man?" the Green Emperor said to him. "And why are you waiting at the gate of my court?" "What do I want, great emperor?" answered Aleodor. "I am sent to ask for your daughter." "Okay, boy, but first, you must pass a test as a custom of my court. You must hide wherever you want for 3 days. If my daughter finds you, your head will be cut off and placed in the graveyard with hundreds of headless bodies. And if she does not find you, then you shall take my daughter from me with royal honors. I have hope in God, great emperor, that I will not perish. Let's start the test." They sat down and wrote a letter, a royal agreement to be confirmed as a symbol of honor, a beacon of integrity and mutual understanding. He thought about how to hide the next day. It was all in his head. His restlessness tormented him more than death. While thinking and planning, He remembered the pike. He took out its scale, examined it, and thought about the fish. Then the pike appeared next to him and said, "What do you want from me, my kind emperor?" "What do I want?" answered Aleodor. "Look what happened to me. Can you help me hide?" "Don't worry about it. Leave it to me." And immediately, striking with his tail, he transformed Aleodor into a groundfish and hid him at the bottom of the sea among rocks. Looking up, the girl took out her binoculars and searched everywhere, but she did not see him. The others who had come before to ask her to marry were hiding in the cellar, behind houses, behind a row of straw, or in some abandoned ditch. But Aleodor hid himself in such a way that the girl began to worry that she would be defeated. As she looked through her binoculars into the sea, she saw him on the seabed among the rocks. She couldn't see it at first. Her binoculars were faulty, she thought. But then she said to her father, "It seems to me, father, that this young man has proven himself wise. He is very smart. Even though I have found him, forgive him, father, for he is unlike the others. His actions show something more special." "We shall see about that," the emperor answered. The next day, when Aleodor had to hide again, he thought of the raven. The raven immediately appeared before him and asked, "What does my noble master want?" "Look, black bird, what happened to me? Can you help me?" Touching him with her wing, she transformed him into a raven and placed him in a flock of ravens that had climbed into the furious wind. As soon as the girl got up, she took her binoculars and again searched for him. She looked on the ground. He was not there. She looked in the water and the sea. He was not there. The girl began to think. Looking up at the clouds, she suddenly saw him. Aleodor was in the sky's glory, among a flock of ravens. She pointed and said to him, "Get down from there. You can't escape me, not even in heaven." Aleodor descended from the sky. The emperor also marveled at Aleodor's cleverness and heeded his daughter's request. However, since the agreement was for him to hide up to 3 times, the emperor said, "You've done well, brave man, but let's see where you will hide next." On the 3rd day, early in the morning, Aleodor thought of the horsefly. She came through a ground trance. After he told her what he wanted, the horsefly said, "Yes, my kind-hearted master, I can help you with that." The horsefly transformed him into a louse and hid him in the girl's hair, without her noticing. The girl got up, took her binoculars, and searched for him all day. She searched with binoculars across the sea, the land, and the air, but saw him nowhere. Towards evening, tired of so much searching, she cried out, "Show yourself. I feel you are near, but I don't see you. You have defeated me. I am yours." The tiny Aleodor descended gracefully from her silken strands. Now revealed, he stood in full view, waiting to see what he would do next. The emperor was speechless, but he gave his daughter's hand with great honor, as promised. On the way back, they stopped to rest. They ate, and he put his head in her lap and somehow fell asleep. The emperor's daughter, marveling at him, absorbed his beauty in her gaze. Her heart pounded, and she could not stop herself. She kissed him. Aleodor woke up, furious with her, and said, "I did not take you for myself, but for him who sent me. You will meet soon." "Then why didn't you tell me so at home?" replied the girl. "Because then I would have known what to do. But never mind, it is not too late." Starting from there, they safely arrived at the Forbidden Mountain at the Half-Man. "Here, I have finished my service to you," said Aleodor, "and I may leave now." But the girl, when she saw the grotesque creature, trembled with disgust and did not want to remain with it for even a second. The Half-Man stood next to the girl and began flattering her with grand promises and words. But the girl said to him, "Get away from me. I'm not yours. I'll make you vanish from the face of the earth." But the creature, melted by love for the girl, continues to persuade her to marry him. The girl was furious now. She was addressing harsh words. She called the Half-Man many names: scum, filth, plague. He insisted for a while, but her words were like knives thrown into his heart. The creature burst into grief. How could he be so insulted by a woman's scorn? Then all of a sudden, Aleodor realized the girl was meant for him, not for that Half-Man, riding half-lame rabbit. Aleodor stands tall, his heart awakes. A mighty power from within calls him. The heavens tremble, the earth quakes. With one mighty strike, the battle is won. The tyrant falls and his dark reign is over. The forbidden mountain is now at peace. The mountains bow, the rivers sing, and the stars above dance brightly. And now, Aleodor took the Green Emperor's daughter as his wife and returned to his home kingdom. When his people saw him return safely, accompanied by a wife as beautiful as the stars, they received him with great joy. Aleodor climbed back onto the throne of his kingdom and reigned hand in hand with his lovely wife, bringing peace and prosperity. The end.